Hey guys, CharrChan here, and today's video I would like to go over this garage kit and just tell you about, well, just show you the contents of this garage kit. So this right here was one of my holy grail figures garage kits to own. It's my first garage kit as well. This is the Draluc and John garage kit from the Wonder Festival 2022 by the Circle, what was the Circle name? Ichinichiya, there we go. So as you can see, we have a little holographic sticker there to show it's an authentic garage kit. The retail price was 15,800 yen. Now obviously I did not go to Wonder Festival 2022, but a very nice person on MFC commented to tell me that they'd seen this on Buyee, and I was like, ooh, I'll go and have a look, and I went and I had a look, and the auction had 24 hours left. So I spent all night just thinking, am I going to buy him, am I not going to buy him? And then in the morning I woke up and I looked at the listing again, there was 20 minutes left, and I went, oh my gosh, I need him! So I made a Buyee account and very quickly placed the buy it now bid. So yes, I paid about £128 for him, or something like 120 something pounds for him, plus about £25 postage, so all in all around £150, which isn't too bad considering that I didn't think I'd be able to own him, and he's probably not going to be that easy to get hold of, is my prediction. Anyway, enough about my little rambling. Here are the sides of the box, very blank, there's nothing really there other than a couple of stickers. So yes, let's have a look inside. I did already open this actually. I opened it immediately when it arrived a couple of weeks ago, just to make sure it was all intact. And it was all good, so let's see. So it does come with this printout, little photo print of the finished garage kit, the one that was painted as an example, and used to promote said garage kit. It's a nice little printout, nice quality paper. Very nice of them to include a finished picture as well, so you have a bit of a point of reference if you want to paint it like the example. Of course, you don't have to paint it like this, you can paint it however you want. Then we have two sheets listing all the parts. So on this sheet here we have all of the items, all of the parts listed and numbered. There should be 29 parts in total. Now I'm afraid I can't really read much of the Japanese here. I'm a little bit rusty on my hiragana and katakana, and I'm also useless at kanji. I don't really know how to read kanji yet. So I can't really tell you what that says, but as you can see down here we do have, I think this is the sculptor's contact information. So their Twitter is 8_onuma. So if you want to go and see the sculptor's Twitter, I believe that's the sculptor's Twitter. I might be wrong there. That might be the Circle. I'm not really sure because I can't actually read any of this. But here is the parts list. And we also have a second sheet which has parts that are listed on the first sheet, but in more detail. So we have the two Johns here, there are two Johns, and Draluc's head, just all assembled, because it does come in multiple pieces. And Draluc's head, the way it's constructed, his inner mouth is a separate piece, and it could get a bit confusing. So they've made us a little guide here so we can keep track of it. Again, I can't really read any of the text on here, so I can't help you there. Now it does come with lots of bubble wrap. And then the individual pieces are kind of grouped together in these little bags. And there are 3 bags in total. Now let's start with the big bag which has his cape in. So in the first bag we have a sand version of Draluc, so a pile of ashes, and the cape that goes along with that. Now you will notice that on these parts, all of the parts, there is a lot of cleanup to do. Not a problem, just something that you might want to take into account. You will also notice I've turned my exposure down because we're looking at white parts on a black background. I want you to be able to see the parts rather than the background. So there's Draluc's sand version. The main cape comes in 3 parts, so we have the big back of the cape, the side portion, and then the very front portion. All of the parts on this kit have these little like pegs and divots to show you where to slot pieces together. Now you will want to be drilling holes in and putting metal support rods in there, at least in my opinion. I will be when I do eventually build this kit. So just take these things as a guide, I would say. Take those little pegs as a guide for where to slot things together and a base point to drill your holes to put your wire in. But that's just my opinion on building it. In the second bag we have pretty much his entire body, so let's have a look at that. So here's a look at his face. As you can see, it's wonderfully sculpted. The details from the cast came through wonderfully. There's a bit of cleanup to do here and there, but that's to be expected with resin kits. He does have the tiniest little air bubble at the end of his nose, which I'm not even sure you can see on camera, but it's something I'll have to patch up. Not a problem at all, just a little bit of putty and sanding, that'll be fine. And you can see at the back of his head here, you can see where his inner mouth will slot in, as those are separate pieces. So there's his face. Kind of looks a bit scary with that, with the mold flush, like creepy teeth. And we have 2 Johns. Now one of them is for his sand version. I think John will stand like that. It's out of focus, but anyway. And the other one goes on the base with the standing up Draluc. The only thing that's a bit of an issue with the Johns, as you can see, there is a big clump of resin at the top of his head, which means it's going to be a little bit difficult to get his ears out. You might have to carve those around those yourself. They are at the very front of the resin. You can kind of see them if I bring this closer. You can see that he has the tiniest hint of his ears there, but it will be a little bit difficult to get those out. Not a huge issue. I'm glad that they preserved the design on John's back, as that's a very iconic part of John's design, so I'm glad that detail is there. But there is going to be work to do to get his ears and the top of his head free. But otherwise both Johns are very cute and well sculpted, so I'm looking forward to painting them. We do have 2 cape collars, one for the sand version and one for the main cape. I'm not sure which is which. I think this is the main cape version and this is the sand one. Yeah, that looks about right. So there's those. I was surprised to learn that he comes with 3 feet. He comes with 2 that don't have any kind of support, and then one that looks like a giant stiletto heel. This is the foot with the built-in support section, so if you don't want to get too fancy with support rods and everything, then this is the foot for you. You can see the little details on the laces are wonderful and crisp. I hope you can, I hope my camera's in focus. So this is the support built-in foot if you want to use that. Or if you want to do your own support rod method things, then there's a foot without that giant stiletto heel on, and of course the other shoe. So he comes with 3 shoes, and as you can see the lace details are on there, nice and crisp. Here are his legs. There's not too much to look at here, but the clothing fold sculpt is really nice. Then we have his torso with his waistcoat on. All those buttons are nice and sharp there. And we have the two halves of his, I forgot the name of this jacket thing. You know what I mean. And lastly, in this bag we have his two arms. Again, the folds in the fabric are sculpted very nicely. And then the last bag with the tiny little parts in. So first up, let's have a look at his hands. He comes with two hands. Now, the fist hand is actually made in two sections, in two parts. We have the fingers and the palm of the hand, and then we have the thumb as a separate piece, which will need cleaning up and sticking into his fist. Then we have the open hand, which has a lot of support resin, like little support rods and the flush from the mold still attached there, which is fine, it just means you have to clean that up yourself, not a problem. We have the back of Draluc's head, his hair. Then we have his teeth. They're so tiny. There's also the frills for his cravat, I believe this is called. The little fasteners for his capes. So one for the cape he's wearing and then one for the sand version of his cape. And finally, a little thing with the copyright information, the name of the company who made this, I believe this probably says Ichinichia or something, because I just can't read kanji, I'm really sorry. Something I did forget to say is that the scale of this figure is about the size of a pop-up parade, which I believe is a 1/10 scale-ish? I'm not really sure, but it's about the size of a pop-up parade. But that is all 29 parts of this kit. Now, I'm not even going to attempt to start this kit until I've done at least a couple of other kits as practice first, so this is a project for the future. I don't want to mess this up. Does it look beginner-friendly? I'm not really sure. Maybe. Maybe not. Depends. If you're looking to ask questions about building garage kits, I am not the person to ask. I've never built a garage kit. I bought this one because I really love Draluc and the show and this sculpt. And I do want to get into garage kit painting, but I don't have any experience, so don't ask me any questions about painting the kit, because I just can't help you there. My overall thoughts on this kit are that it looks a little bit difficult to build, but that could just be because I'm a beginner and I am a bit scared of painting it. There's a lot of cleaning up to do with the pour tabs and the resin flush lines from the molds. That shouldn't be an issue, it's just a lot of sanding to do, but completely fine with me. I only found very teeny tiny defects on this kit, such as a tiny little air bubble on Draluc's nose and some air bubbles in the cape, but those are honestly minuscule, tiny things that can be easily patched up. The cast is a really high quality with lots of detail, and it seems like the resin is really high quality, though then again I don't really know because I'm a complete beginner here, but it seems like a nice high quality kit from what I can tell. Now there's honestly not much more I can say, this was just to show you what was in the kit because I really don't know what to say. Would I recommend this kit? I don't know, I guess so if you can get hold of it. Alright, I'm gonna go. I hope you found this video helpful if you are also looking to start painting this kit or get hold of it or whatever. Again, I bought this on Buyee. Not sponsored. Wish I was. Thank you so much to the user on MFC who let me know that this was actually available. As I said, it's one of my grails and I now have it and I'm really excited to be able to eventually paint it in like a year or so, maybe a few years. Alright, I'm gonna pack this all back into the box, and before I go, I'd like to say if you do like vampires, which I assume you would if you wanted to spend like £150 on a resin kit with vampire, then my comic Revamped, which is about vampires, is available to read on the internet for free in both English and German, so go and have a read of my comic. Alright, that's enough self-promotion for one video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not hit the like button, as that probably hurts and it's not very nice, so maybe shake his hand instead. With that being said, I hope to see you in the next one, and bye!